Is it? Yeah. There it is. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
I got to hold a microphone.
Hold on. And now we got to do this one over here too. I think, right?
This,
Oh.
that's this one.
Oh, you got it? Okay, he's got it. Literally. All right. It is November 1st.
Last week I was down with a different mouse.
Oh, wow. Mike just, no, you're not talking into the mic, Mike.
Oh.
He has a mouse in his hand, and he said last week he was down with another mouse.
And I was with a rat because the Remy ride is open now too.
The which one?
Remy?
What's Remy?
Ratatouille?
Oh, Ratatouille. Oh my gosh. Well,
Rode it 3 times.
So tell us real quick, Mike, what was your favorite thing about your trip?
It's just time with Becky. That's the fun thing. So
Oh, that's the right answer. Did you hear that, Becky? She probably doesn't watch these.
Probably not.
No. So here we are. It's November 1st.
It's a Monday.
It was Halloween yesterday.
Yes. And now it's Christmas season.
Oh, it's
Are you
on.
ready?
It's on because we want to build careers worth having to
And
fund the Christmas season.
Exactly. Business is worth owning.
To fund the Christmas season.
Lives worth living.
To have good times during the Christmas season.
Experiences like Christmas worth giving.
Yes. And kids always remember the legacies of Christmas.
And Thanksgiving.
And Thanksgiving.
We don't skip Thanksgiving also, but
That's
we
right.
just start the thankful season already.
But we want to have, we want to really be that real estate company of choice for our agents and the clients, right?
Exactly.
Because really we make God and family the priority.
And then business comes.
There we go. And then, okay, wait, we got the Y4C2Ts.
There they are.
If you don't know them, memorize them. How cool. And honestly, if you don't have your own belief system written, if you don't have your own company's beliefs, right, the MVVBP, put it down. Decide what yours are.
Kind of fun to do your own and find out what you're actually doing work for.
Mike, remember, if you've joined us and you haven't heard us talk about it, Mike has his on his wall, right?
It's right outside our door upstairs.
Right outside the door upstairs. Very cool, too. So if you want to get an idea of who Mike is and who the team is.
That's right.
There it is. Okay. And we are really a technology company that provides the real estate platform that our agents and buyers and sellers prefer.
That's because Keller Williams thinks like a top producer, acts like a trainer consultant, and focuses all its activities on service, productivity, and profitability.
I would say that's the right perspective to have.
I like it.
Yep. That's the future of our industry. And so how's the market Mike slides
Yes.
actually show up on our internal Facebook page?
Yeah.
So if you're newer and you're watching this, or if you're watching this from the YouTube channel, that's actually right. We do want to post this on the internal page, but we also share this team meeting on the YouTube channel.
Right.
There it is. So if you haven't gone to the YouTube channel, feel free.
So I did just post the numbers. Is that today?
These are.
It is. All right.
I switched them out this morning just for you, Dan, and everyone else. But Dan and I were talking about it. Dan Turkel and I were talking about it. And these are really important, aren't they, Mike?
It shows what's going on with the actual listings in our area. That's the big thing.
Yes. And somebody's talking in the hallway, super rude. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time. And what we're seeing is normal right now, aren't we? We are seeing a slowdown. This is typical. And yet it's also a great time for you to take advantage.
Yeah.
That's really what we're seeing. So this is our 7-day update for SOMO. And we have 394 new, 375 pending, and 356 closed. You can use these as posts on your social media, by the way. That's what I liked about that previous slide.
Right.
If you're taking advantage and sharing this, you're becoming more of the reliable resource for everything real estate when you are showing up and giving the numbers.
So you'll talk to a lot of people who are like, I don't want to list my house right now because it's the slow season. That's the perfect time because you have less competition. So you're going to have more serious buyers rather than just everybody that's looking. So this is the ideal time.
And by the way, I would just say, isn't this year a lot different than last year when it comes to the seasons? It seems like the colors are coming way later this year.
I don't know, because they were all still green in Florida the last 2 weeks.
Oh, well, thanks for bringing it up again, Mike. Okay. How's the market, Mike, on this one? We got the outside areas. That's a huge number up there. 52,
yep.
52 is very high actually for this time.
We keep seeing more listings in our rural areas.
Yeah.
So it's very
It's
interesting to
still
watch this.
going strong in our outlying areas, but the new contracts are a little bit down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously we have our other outside area.
That's more the north area. So Bolivar, Polk County, all those kind of
And
areas
again,
there.
still very much going strong. What we were saying, and Dan and I, you and I were talking just briefly, a line that I like to use during this time of the year is that we see an uptick in October and November a lot of times as far as activity and then closings right away. They're fast and they're quick, and they're usually a lot less, I'd say, angry clients because they're trying to get into their house before Christmas. They're wanting to be settled and with the family for the holidays. Brian was nodding there. I think that this is a thing that we see here just as much as we do in California. All right, active listings.
So this one was interesting because usually I run these numbers on Monday morning, but with team meeting on Monday morning, I started running numbers yesterday. And you'll see that I finally settled. I know it's hard because I've got the whole list going now. It's settled at 887 active listings basically last night at 10 o'clock. Now, what's interesting, I started tracking it yesterday morning just for curiosity. Yesterday morning at 8 a.m., it was 903 active listings.
Whoa.
And it kept trickling down as more things got put under contract during the day. Actually, this morning, it was at 884. So 3 more went under contract from 10 o'clock last night till 7 this morning.
Wow.
So I was just curious what happens on a Sunday afternoon. And that's 15 houses or so went under contract yesterday.
Yeah. I love that you did that. And that is really good information. That's called absorption rate, right? So what we're seeing is a lot coming on, but we're also seeing a lot going to contract, especially from a Sunday to a Monday and on Halloween. So this is what we're talking about, that people want to be in their dang house before the holidays.
So we never did get up to the 1,000 listings, which we were hoping, and now we're on the way back down, which is normal. But in the last years, it was 2,100 listings, 2,800 listings, 3,100 listings.
Yes.
So it's still definitely skewed to the side of the sellers.
Well, and we were out trick-or-treating last night. It was the cutest thing ever. We're walking along and there was a family out in front with their, they had not a barbecue, but a fire pit. And they're all sitting around and handing out candy to the kids and stuff. It was really sweet. And I saw a sign for sale in their yard. And I was like, oh, and I tried to look it up on my app, and it didn't show. And they said, actually, it's going live tomorrow. Do you want to see it? Like they were like trying to sell their house at Halloween.
It's like a giant open house.
It was like a giant open house. It was friggin' brilliant. So that's a cool idea just for the future. If you want to mark on your calendar to potentially, if you're going to list a house, might as well list it on Halloween and have people being able to see it. I don't know, maybe you don't want everybody walking through your house. It's on Halloween.
And here's another idea I heard yesterday: buy king size candy bars for next year. Put your branding on the backside, some kind of fun, I don't know what
business card.
Yeah. But then when you hand those out, the card is going. So not only are you advertising, all of your candy is a business expense.
Ah, nice.
I'm not only your neighbor, I'm your agent, Dan Turkel said.
I like
But
it.
if you do that and you hand out fun size, you're not going to get anything. So you better do the big candy bars.
Talk about sweetening the deal.
Ah.
Oh, hey, did you hear that?
Ah.
That was a pretty good one. Okay.
Did what?
A bag full of candy with her business card in it. Smart. I like that.
My favorite thing to do is you take onions and put them in caramel and make them look like caramel apples.
Oh, have you done that?
No.
Oh gosh.
Not yet.
That sounds, I wouldn't have put it past you. And we have book clubs starting again. October. Oh, no, it's not October. What am I thinking? October's ending. November is starting, and we're doing the 4-hour work week. And I've read it before, but that was quite a while ago. And it's a little bit, I don't want to call it shocking, but it is. Find out why. Ooh, a sizzle.
Ah.
Yeah. So here we are. It is November 1st. And we've got this entire insanely beautiful calendar ahead of us. And there's so many cool things. Bold happening tomorrow, which is why we're having the team meeting today. And yes, do you have a comment on that?
No, I was going to say team meeting will be a little skewed until, during the bold season. Our bold coach was at the World Series game last night, by the way, also.
That's right. So did you actually see him there?
No, I'm a Facebook friend with him.
Right.
And so he did as a giveaway, because you can do that in Georgia, tickets to the World Series.
Right.
All you had to do is give info for your database or refer a person. But then I saw him post that he was at the World Series game last night himself.
I noticed this week, we've got Wednesday, Don Klepper's doing a lots and land contracts.
We've had a lot of people ask about those recently.
A ton about that. So I would hope that everybody would take advantage of this moment, because how many times do we have agents coming in and saying, hey, I've got a potential for a lot. You know, how do I do a land contract? Guess what? Our brokers teach that, and it's happening this Wednesday.
Yay.
All right. And then let's see, we got Tech Tuesday right after this.
One thing I want to point out is next week, put this on your calendar, November 11th. Rachel, can you pop in some on what we do on Veterans Day breakfast? I think that's a really cool thing we do.
Yeah, so previously we've done Veterans Day breakfast at the Market Center. However, our culture committee and Brian Fisher reached out to the local VFW post, and we're actually going to go to that VFW post and have breakfast there. They start serving on the 11th at 6 a.m. I think some of us on the leadership team are going to be there at 6 a.m. to help serve breakfast. And then at 10 o'clock, they're going to do the flag raising ceremony up there. So that will be super cool to see. Also, KWRI, they're making a big Veterans Day push, and they have actually made KW and American flag veteran pins together. I don't know if you guys can see that in my screen. However, all of our veterans here at the Market Center will be getting this pin on the 11th, or if you want to come by and get it sooner, we're more than happy to do that. So that was a really cool initiative through KWRI.
If we give a certain amount of money, can I get a pin?
We may have to order some more. So I've
Okay.
ordered enough for the amount of veterans that we thought we had on there. And then the other thing I want to touch on is the Thanksgiving potluck. So for those of you that haven't been here, the Market Center has a huge Thanksgiving potluck on November 23rd from 11 to 1. The Market Center will be providing the ham and the turkey. We just ask that you bring a side to share with the rest of the agents. Nicole has created a Google form, so you can put on there what you're going to bring. And then it's also tied into the Facebook event. So on the internal page, if you go to events, that is where the event will be held. And then in the bottom right of the calendar, save the dates for our holiday open house, the GSBR holiday party, and KW's holiday party as well.
Very cool. I mean, lots going on this week.
Lots of entertaining family fun stuff, and Keller Williams family stuff also. So make sure you're marking your calendar, because you know Christmas season's going to get crazy.
And there's one that says canceled on there. Is that real?
I don't think. Nope, that's supposed to be removed. The 29th is not canceled.
Yeah, the 29th is not canceled. I'm glad that I saw that just briefly. I'm like, wow, how did that? It must have stayed on there from the previous slides.
Got it.
All right. We have a mission moment. We had a spotlight last week.
Oh, we did.
Yep. And we had Rhett Smiley was, of course, chosen.
Very cool.
He's amazing. And he nominated Brian Fisher. And he said some incredible things. And this is what he said. I picked him because I noticed him as an upcoming leader within our company. He was a patient, was a patient pro to work with on a recent transaction with low appraisal, which can always be a little bit difficult. And C, it's Veterans Day soon, and I'd like to thank him and other veterans in our for their service and service, so that I can work at/with the greatest real estate company in the best office. I love
Congratulations to Brian.
Yay! So awesome. We have Speedy up there for you soon, so don't forget it. All right, we got vendor guide. We have awesome vendors. We have great partners. And do we have anybody on, Casey Cooper, by chance? Because Mondays are a little bit different now.
Yep.
We also have Onward now as our MSA agreement as well.
Uh-huh.
There you are. Would you like to come up, please? Yeah, come on up.
Yeah, talking to Mike.
Yay.
That's right.
All right, come up. Tell us what's going on. What's new and exciting?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that we do offer transaction coordination and database management right now. So with the holidays coming up, chat with us on how you can leverage us to spend more time with your family.
Ooh, good pitch.
I thought so too.
Unless you don't want to spend time with your family.
But you do.
Oh, yeah, but you do. That's right. So perfect. If you want to get more efficient, want to have a support. And I say personally, Mike, my first real hire was our transaction coordination.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And that alleviates so much time and energy.
Yeah.
And for people that are as good at it as they are, super cool.
And I see two vendors in here.
Yay. You want to run over there? Yes, please. Just say who you are and Say who you are and what you do real quick.
Yes, I'm Michael, the Reiki guy with 417 Reiki. We are the only locksmith in the GSBOR with super access.
Nice.
We do residential, commercial Reikis, master key systems for rental properties, and fast Reikis when your seller doesn't have a key for the front door. Call us. We'll be there quick before the sun sets, most likely, and get you taken care of.
Hey guys, Jess Bowman, Bowman Insurance Group. We just want to be here as a resource to you guys. I had 2 calls from realtors over the weekend just about random questions, sinkholes, roofs, things like that. We're always happy to answer your guys' insurance questions and help your clients. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Anyone
Appreciate
online?
that. Appreciate that. Anybody online as well that wants to jump on really
McGrath
quickly?
is on.
Adam McGrath with Liberty Mutual Insurance, and I appreciate you guys so much. And your Halloween bash was awesome. Thanks for letting us attend.
That was super fun. It was great to see you there. Appreciate that. It was super fun, Mike. You missed out a little bit. And you didn't miss out on the leadership team having to paint our faces stark white and then trying to get that stuff off as our eyes burned throughout the day.
That's because a mime is a terrible thing to waste.
Wait. So wait, Rachel, I actually don't remember. Did we have a costume winner? I didn't see it.
I think they are finished tallying those votes up because it was a vote on Facebook. However, Chris Day won the chili cook-off. So congratulations to Chris
Yay.
Day.
Awesome. That was actually, I only tried, I think 4 because they were gone. Some of them were gone by the time that I tried them. And I heard it was fantastic. So
He even brought some bread with his. So that's the
Right.
way to win, apparently.
that is additional things to go with your chili. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. And Paulina had pickle soup. It was actually pretty good. I did not expect it to be as good as it is. But all right, let's continue.
Sounds like it was a big deal.
Oh, wow. We missed you, Mike. That was pretty good. A productivity coaching moment. Brian, come on up here real quick. As you can see, we have this awesome slide Nicole put together with Ashley, I think, and this is kind of what's going on with the productivity coaching group.
Yeah. So I mean, we've talked about it a couple times, but we're trying to do a better job of actually sharing our. Thank you, Tim. Sharing our story. I mean, we've had some really productive coaching clients this year. So our year-to-date sales is actually over 11 million, which is awesome. They're almost at 340,000 in GCI. And just this past week, we had 3 closings. Aaron Cottle submitted his first offer ever, which was awesome. And Andres De Leon left his job after 9 years to transition to being full-time. So
how cool is that?
Yeah, we talk a lot about, building a life by design. And for a lot of people getting started, they're not able to make that full-time jump. So it's really, really exciting for me to see Andres make that leap of faith.
That is so cool. So you're telling me that having coaching creates productivity.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, it's called productivity coaching.
Yeah, it's like
amazing.
It's like we help people get into production.
Enough to get out of their 9 to 5, away from that, potential career cap that they might be sitting at, and having that life by design, like you said.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
And honestly, if you guys know of anybody that is not hitting the goals that they are aspiring to hit,
and they don't have a coach,
have them talk to Blake or myself or any of the leadership staff so that we can do a consultation and see what they need to change. And that consultation is no obligation, even if it's us just having a conversation about some redirection and how you guys can set up for success. And we'd love to do it.
And even if you have a team and you're wanting to leverage off some of the training and coaching that you might not have time or feel like you don't have time to grow a team member, you could potentially be the coach for their new people that might join their team.
We have and do coordinate with members on teams.
So cool. Thank you so much, Brian. Awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome job. I mean, that's pretty cool. I have a video. I think I'm going to save it to the end if we have time.
Okay.
Does that sound good? And, I think it's just going to start. And we'll scoot over. Oh, broker moment. We do not have Jim or Don in the house right now, but they sent me something recently. And I'm going to read this out loud as best I can because I'm the worst reader out loud ever. Southern Missouri Regional MLS listing in the status of coming soon. no showings now appear in SOMO's IDX data feed. So this is a reminder, these coming soon listings are allowed to be displayed on public facing MLS participant websites as coming soon or coming soon no showings prior to June 2021. So coming soon listings were excluded from IDX feeds until the listing changed from coming soon no showings to an active listing status.
So the big thing that means is if you have a house that is not ready, you can put it in as a coming soon. It will start syndicating out. So to go through your websites, it'll go through all the main websites everywhere, but it will start getting activity on it. Still, if it's a coming soon, you can't show it till that active date, but it now goes out live, which was the big issue a lot of people were having is why do a coming soon if you can't advertise it? Now you can.
Well, and this is a really good conversation to have with your sellers because I don't know about you guys, not all agents read the confidential showing instructions. Not all agents follow the MLS guidelines when it comes to showing properties appropriately. So to make sure that when it is going to be listed as a coming soon, that they could have people driving by, they could have people that, you know, are bold enough to knock on the door when they shouldn't. Does that make sense? So we make that a point as on ours.
So I think it was during business planning clinic, Evan DeShong was talking about his team, whenever they're getting ready to do a listing, they basically get a coming soon ready and they prospect that neighborhood ahead of time. You know, and say, hey, this is coming on live on Thursday. We have an open house Thursday from 4 to 6, which I thought was a brilliant time to do it too. So there's ways you can start promoting. Again, the idea that a house sells immediately kind of hurts us.
That's right.
Because that gives you no way to promote yourself or get your word out there. So use some of these different tools and strategies because it can really help you down the long run.
I mean, do you find that some agents are still doing the, you know, won't review offers until after the first open house kind of a thing? Or is that pissing people off right now?
This season, it seems like it's gone back to a little bit of normal.
Yeah.
What have you all seen?
I haven't seen that as much, Brian says. No, not as much. Okay, so.
Yeah, now if it sits on the market a week, you're like, oh no, what's wrong with it?
I know. Hey, that might actually influence your offers a little bit there, huh, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. Up to 14 days.
The coming soon can be 14 days or less, and you have to turn it into the board if you do that. They've got to have the paperwork showing that.
Yeah.
So there's a couple steps to go on it, but it could help you out.
So there was a flyer that was just created about the Veterans Day breakfast. Rachel mentioned it earlier, but I just wanted to keep that slide on here to talk about that. And
go back for a second.
Yeah.
The Military Agent Resource Network.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, talk to me a little bit about that.
You know what? We're going to hear more about that from Brian.
Don't talk to me about that.
Yeah, but I would say that Keller Williams Veterans, like Rachel was mentioning, is a super cool, and we're trying to stay on the up and up on that so that we can leverage. And Brian's actually reaching out to a lot of military people that are potentially going to be retiring soon or getting off their, you know, their normal track to get into real estate. So he's providing a way for them to move into this industry, which would be so cool.
I want everybody to think about that. Keller Williams has done a big push the last several months of different, what would you call it? Like subdivisions. There's a veterans network. There's new home construction. There's luxury. There's all these different niche markets, and there's a whole community that you can join if that's something you're really looking at getting interested in.
That's right. Okay, so we also had this slide that was prepared. Oh, it's kind of blocked on here for some reason.
It's this thing.
I know, but I don't know why that's still up there. Dan, you know why that wouldn't go away? It's like a
thing on here that shows the screen share stuff.
It didn't do it a little bit ago.
Sometimes if you have a chat pop up in the box, then that will pop up for you.
Oh, there are chats. So let's see if it went away. Hey. Oh wait, let's see. Did it do it up there? It didn't go away up there, but it went away on ours.
Where?
See, look. Oh.
Remember, that one's way behind.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right, little things we learn, right? Well, I wanted to take a moment this morning to talk about how to structure your bank accounts. And Mike and I, you know, we've gone through this with a lot of our agents. And this is not about being a CPA. I'm not a CPA. I want to disclose right up front. Talk with your accountant, talk with your CPA, talk with your bookkeeper, talk with maybe your tax attorney, something like that about what's best fit for you on how to structure your bank accounts. But one of the things that was taught to me that I wanted to kind of bring up today that I think I do have one-on-ones and I do talk with some of you about this on a somewhat regular basis. But I would say that in more of a team setting, I just kind of want to go through some of the buckets that you should have as a realtor, thinking more like a business person. Because if you really think about it, Gary Keller wants all of the realtors in the world to think more like a business person rather than a realtor. Okay, so I'm going to draw a few things up here, and Mike and I were just talking. I don't want to write backwards because what you're seeing from me versus what the people in here can see is different. Okay, so you have commission dollars. Oh, this is a horrible pen. There we go. You have commission dollars that come in from closings, and those commission dollars come in and they basically go into this huge funnel that these dollars comes down, and this is called your capital account. A capital account is your main account where all of your dollars come in from closings or even other ancillary incomes if you want it to from your real estate business. And the dollars funnel through here out to the bottom to then go into what's called your operating account. And this is important. You don't want, in my opinion, you don't want to have this be a personal account. You want to have this be a business account. And that business account should have an EIN number. And that's a number and online, and Mike, maybe you can see if the chats bring up anything. The EIN number allows for you to have basically a social security number for your business. And the social security number for your business allows for you to have business accounts that are not you. And that helps you be protected in case anything were to happen that, God forbid, be sued or something like that. But if you're being sued, they can only come after your business. They can't really come after you personally. Does that make sense? And so that was one thing, especially coming from California, where it's the suing state, right? And thank God I've never been sued, but it's one of those things that you want to be protected. And so having an EIN number for your business, this is the capital account. All of your monies are going in here, and it's funneling out the bottom to a different pen. Okay. And maybe I can zoom in. Let's try that really quick. No, I guess it's just getting to... I don't know why these whiteboards. Do you remember whiteboards? You used to be able to see stuff. What is that all about, right? There we go. Here, I'm going to try this blue one, see if we can go with that. So this is your capital. No, that doesn't work either, huh? Can they see that any better? Probably not. I don't think so. Let's try the red one. No. Can they see that at all? Not very well. Okay, so we'll just go with it. I think the black shows up the best though. All right, so the capital account funnels down into the operating account. And the operating account is where it's like a sieve. It has lots and lots of little holes in it. And these little holes are where money comes out of. And so when the monies are coming down from your capital account into your operating account, these funds are coming out like your gas, your cell phone. Oh yeah, I shouldn't write names, but cell phone, your signs for your listings, your marketing costs for your listings, all the things that it takes to operate your business. You've heard of cost of sales and operating expenses. These are your operating expenses coming out of these holes from your operating account. And that is a business checking account. Now, oftentimes, a lot of people will have two coming off here into closed accounts, one being a savings and one being a tax account, so that whatever's coming in is appropriately being set aside for your taxes, quarterlies, right? Or whatever your accountant or however you've systematized the way that your taxes are going to be paid. So you've got your savings or taxes, and savings. And you technically, and this is what was taught to me, you always want to have at least 3 to 6 months worth of operating expenses in the capital account at all times. So 3 to 6 months, but you could always have more. It's not like you can't, but I would say that that's kind of a minimum and is kind of the model, 3 to 6 months worth of operating expenses in your capital account. And then you can build up the savings on top of that if you'd like, but always saving. And in where I'm from, I save like 35% into the tax account. Out here, it's more like 25-ish or even less depending. But having the taxes set aside so that that's just gonna be, don't even consider those dollars, those aren't yours, right? So this is just money getting set aside, but all of your taxes, all of your operating account funnels down as well to where you pay, and man, these pens are awful. It is, it's the glass, because yeah, exactly. So this is your operating, funneling down again, dollars to, and I don't want to call it a funnel, but you pay yourself, you pay yourself as an entity in a way. So you then are benefiting, but you're also, you can establish what that is as like a salary. So you can, in a way, create systemized structure to when you know your dollars are coming versus being willy-nilly not knowing exactly when your next deal's coming, right? So the goal is do enough business where it's over your amount you pay yourself to where these start getting filled and you only get taxed on this. And wow, this pen just literally died. You only get taxed here. So you set yourself aside. This is your personal, right? This is your personal, and you only get taxed technically on that amount. And if you're welcome, anybody to share, you also, this is a cool thing where, and I don't know how it works here necessarily as much as it is from California, but creating a family LLC is another thing you can do. And these are all tools that are helping you, guide you towards utilizing the dollars you make better, right? Yes, Dan to Cal. Oh, could you run him back, Mike?
What advice do you have in terms of setting aside the money for taxes? Did you work with a bank that would like automatically transfer
Yes.
25-30% of every dollar that came in?
So glad you brought that up. You can walk into almost any bank, and if they don't know what you're talking about, don't use that bank. Most banks, if not every bank I've ever talked to or anybody that I've helped coach through something like this, you walk into a bank, you can say, hey, I need to set up an EIN number for a business account setup. And they go, great, right this way. They'll help you establish your EIN number through getting incorporated, whether an LLC or a C Corp or an S Corp, whichever one is the best way for the way you want to run it. And that is where you establish for every dollar going in to your capital account, a certain percentage is taken out every time.
Yeah, because not every bank does that, as I'm finding out. I just tried to do that recently, and they're
okay,
like, no, we just cannot do that automatically. And I'm like, well.
Oh, well then, yeah, don't bank with them. This is an easy thing for a lot of banks, and they do it all the time. And so I would say having this assessed to come out, I would say that sometimes I have heard that there's a certain dollar value that it needs to be in order to do that. But I would say that it's been something that we've done for a very long time. And when it automatically goes in here, you should never consider those dollars yours. And that's what realtors do a lot of times is they automatically assume that when they get their check, that it's theirs. And so they think they're making $100,000 a year when really they're making 60 or 70,000 a year. And so they spend as $100,000 earner and then they don't save appropriately. And that is, I mean, I kid you not, this is one of the major determiners of a realtor's success is not planning appropriately. I know many top agents all around the country that are still behind on their taxes regularly or still paying off massive taxes, having to file extensions and things like that. And I don't claim to be a huge tax expert, but what I did have is I hired an accountant, I hired a bookkeeper, and I hired a tax attorney. And so over the years, I've just gleaned this and going like, oh, you can do that? Oh, no, what? And I just think about all the money that I didn't save that while not being incorporated, while not having a business account and having it structured. Capital account feeding into your operating account. This is a business checking. You actually have a check card from this account number. So literally every business expense, everything that my staff and so forth uses, they use those numbers or that card to buy all the things, signs, marketing, Facebook boosts, all that stuff. So that finally at the end, I can pay my salary and other people's salaries out of it.
I don't know if there's still spots open, but there's a tax seminar at the board this Friday from 9:15 to about noon. I'm sure something will come out later today, but I think it might be full already, but it was great info last time they did that about 2 or 3 years ago.
You always learn something. I would highly recommend. In fact, I should go to that. It's Friday.
Yeah.
You have to sign up.
Thing that we're,
Yeah,
Rachel, go ahead.
I think Mike is correct. I think if the spots are already full, but you would have to check with the board in order to get registered. In the chat, I put the link to the book Profit First. If you guys haven't read that, I strongly recommend it. It's talking about what Tim says, and you have your 5 accounts. And whenever I had to set up my LLC, I just went to the Missouri Secretary of State. And since I'm my own individual member, I was able to find an operating agreement online, copy and paste, make it my own. And within 30 minutes, I was able to get my own EIN number, all of that. So once I then was able to take it to the bank, I could open up my accounts. So the 5 main ones, and it outlines it in the Profit First, is your income account where all of your money is coming into, your owner's pay, your profit, your taxes, and your expenses. And if you don't feel like you can trust yourself having it like your tax account in that same bank, I would strongly recommend of opening up another account at a different bank just to funnel that money in for your taxes so you don't have access to it. And then whenever you're doing this, another conversation with the bank is to ask if you can get a higher interest account. So if you're going to put it into like a savings account, how can you earn higher interest on it over the normal? So your money works a little bit harder for you. But Profit First is one of the best books. It's changed my life and how I look at business, and it's making sure that you pay yourself a profit first before you go everything else out. And that was I think our February book of this last year. So definitely check it out.
I love that, Rachel. Thank you for that input. And I would say, yes, paying yourself, even though sometimes it's funny because the realtors will often pay themselves last. And that is like, well, you're shutting off the water to yourself, and you're basically not realizing that if you pay yourself first, it's actually very educational to yourself about your own business. Because if you're paying yourself first, you're realizing that it hurts a lot to not pay someone else, right? And to have other people coming to you for their money. But sometimes your negotiating skills get better. There's a ton in that book that talk about how you decide who's getting paid because you're the one that's generating the money, right? And so is that part of our book club? Or maybe we can add that to next year's book club?
No, it was February.
It was February. It was. Yes, it was. Yeah, because I've read it at least 4 times. Mike, I think we're ready for kind of finishing up. Oh.
What's it called?
Yes, You Need a Budget. Wine app, right? Yeah. And another one that is a great podcast is Bigger Pockets. They have all kinds of cool tools and resources that they talk about on the regular basis.
And just acronyms. EIN stands for Employer Identification Number. So it's basically a social security number for your business. And that's why it's the same number of digits as your social. So you create an entity of its own. It's alive.
It's alive.
So it becomes the legal thing instead of you.
That's right. Right up. Yeah. So they take it right off the top as well. Yep. Separate account. And as soon as it's ready, it goes out the window. Yep. Okay. So the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Exactly. You mean you got to work for stuff?
I know it. We have Tech Tuesday right after this. You mean we could work like that too?
It's not Tech Tuesday. Is it Tech
It's
Monday?
Tech Monday. Hold on.
It's Meta Monday. We'll go off the Facebook thing. Change our name to Meta.
Meta Dan Monday. So if you've struggled, if you want to learn about something with technology, whether it's the app, whether it's command, whether it's marketing through all the different pieces of it, Dan's here for you right after this. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. We'll talk soon.
Party on. See you all.
Thanks for attending with, what's her name?
Shirley Temple.
Charlie Temp.